Great.
Okay, we've got some people in here now.
We are
Hey,
fully
Coach.
loaded. Yeah, did you guys bus up? Oh wow.
We all ran up. That's what we do in athletics, you know?
I haven't run in 20 years.
I started doing that. That lasted about a week.
Well, let's start cycling in here.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't I give my seat up and we'll let the coach sit up here, and Abby, you can sit up here too, so the cameras can see you and you can talk about athletics and wrestling. You know, wrestling and basketball and baseball. So these seats are yours.
Yeah. So we welcome Pitt Johnstown Athletics. Start with some familiar faces to most of the folks who are would be familiar with campus in general. Coach Pat Pecor. Coach, looking good. Good to see you.
Thank you. How you doing?
Good.
Good,
Good. Get right up on that mic there. And,
Okay.
yeah, great. And Abby Gerhardt. Abby.
How's it going?
Oh, you know what? I'm going to keep forgetting to unmute. I mute David occasionally.
Okay. Am I on?
You are on now.
All right. Mike's hot. All right. I
Well,
said, what's up? What's going on?
Not bad. Not much. We're enjoying Pitt Day of Giving. We started everything. Nothing is caught on fire.
That's good.
So low bar, but it's good. I enjoy having mute for David. It's kind of fun to have a button with him. Who did you bring with you today?
Well, we brought our assistant men's basketball coach right here, Pat Grubbs, and our assistant men's baseball coach.
Great.
Okay.
George Roberts.
Fantastic. Welcome all to the Pitt Day of Giving live stream. Certainly one of the things that when we set out to start Pitt Day of Giving for the live stream was to give people a chance not to just donate to athletics, but each athletic team as well. And you can see those on the Pitt Day of Giving page that you can actually go find basketball, find baseball, find the golf team, find women's soccer, or whatever you'd like there, as well as the athletic scholarships and everything in between. But what does that mean for you as a program, you as a whole massive part of what makes UPJ so special? For
It means
those
a lot because every one of our programs, you look at the three things in athletics all the time are, facilities, scholarships, and staff. And so our athletic programs do very, very, very well with some limited resources. And so anything that can be, obtained, in any one of those areas really, 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 helps. And, so, over the years that, our athletic programs have done very well. Very well, and I'm very proud of the coaches and what they do and the time that they put in. But you can always use a little more scholarship, a little more facility updates, or even a facility. We're trying to, just for example, our baseball team. We'd love to have a turf field.
Okay.
To where we can have, just to have a turf field on campus where you can have your men's soccer, women's soccer, softball, baseball, and we're splitting up the baseball team. That's a nice situation. They go down to the Point Stadium, which is beautiful. We're currently, working on a softball field, which is coming along really, really nice. But it would really be nice, to have one turf field that could accommodate, 4 sports and intramurals and anything else you can use, especially with some of the times the weather in situations like that. So that's just an example of something in facilities. Abby and I were just yesterday talking about, we got a track team, with, there's close to how many members are on the track team
We
now?
have like 83 members on our track
Yeah,
team.
and we need,
wow.
and that brings a lot of enrollment for the school, and so, but the facilities are very limited, not even an adequate track type of thing. So, having donations that can go to something like that, so you figure athletics just adds so much to a college. I always called it the front porch to a university because that's what people see. That's what they see in the paper. That's what they see on TV. So athletics is like the front porch of a university, and so we want to have a nice front porch.
That makes a lot of sense, and it's certainly something that I know you all take seriously because I get to see the student side of student athletes, and they're always some of my best students, or the students athletes, because they're very dedicated. Abby, you certainly seem a lot less in motion than the last time we saw you at Winterfest. Did you recover from Winterfest?
Oh, there's always motion going on. That just happened to be in the forefront. I have recovered. Winterfest was awesome, and that's kind of what I like to talk about with athletics is the community side. Because it creates a culture. I think it's really important to note that when you support athletics, you're supporting enrollment for the school. So, if we have better facilities, we can have more athletes. Like we've actually increased the amount of student athletes we've had on campus over the years with our facilities and staffing being less and less competitive compared to our peers. But our athletes are growing. So I can't even imagine what it would be like if we had better facilities and things like that to attract more students and help the enrollment of the school, help the school thrive. And then it just creates a good culture. But on the flip side of it, like I was saying with the community relations, like I just love the platform, the front porch that athletics has with the community, like what we did with Winterfest, open our doors up so you can experience our teams and just, get to experience our beautiful campus. That's what I love about athletics. And to me, upgrading facilities is having sports camps over the summer, having a place to bring your kids to learn and grow and maybe just give you some free time, whatever it might be. Let us, help steward your money well when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, I think athletics just brings a whole lot of just good things. It's just a safe space for people to have fun and have camaraderie and build teamwork.
Let's bring in the rest of your group that you were so kind to bring from a coaching perspective. Certainly different sports, basketball versus baseball. I don't think John or I would probably be good at either one of those two sports at this point in our lives.
Oh, I was.
But same sort of idea, the impact of what it means to have that support from both, and I'm sure a lot of it would come from the alumni who came through here and were part of those programs.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Just get up on the mic. Yeah.
Tall people.
Yeah.
Basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. Just kind of to piggyback off of what Coach Pecora and Abby said, it's just, the facilities would, just enhancing them and through renovations and whatnot would be huge. And we've had great support, from our alumni. Rich Reagan has done, a fantastic job, getting money donated for, our wooden floor and our wrestling room, our weight room, and just that goes such a long way. And not only does it kind of brighten up our facilities whenever we are able to get these funds, but it enhances our student athletes' experience as well. It's something that they take ownership of, and they can kind of, brag about to, their friends and stuff about the nice things that they have here. And, I just think it's huge, and we're so grateful whenever, we are able to get that support from, our alumni and, outside resources for sure.
Same with baseball? Is this one on? Yeah, they're all on. Good.
Yeah, exactly what they said. It enhances, it helps with recruiting, especially. I think an all-purpose field knocks out a lot of those sports, all in one. You could do track or soccer, baseball, kind of like what Gannon and them do. To have individual fields obviously is a lot of money, but an all-purpose turf field, especially in the Northeast, would be huge, like for recruiting, all that stuff. Because, we're lucky to have the Point, which is great. We lose a lot of baseballs there, which are expensive, right? We don't get to practice there in the fall. And then in the spring, luckily this spring, we've got to practice there a decent amount, but eventually we start splitting them with Bishop McCourt. So it'd be nice to kind of have your own spot.
Coach, when you talk about, we kind of almost got at some of this now, talking certainly about with Rich Reagan and so forth with the basketball court. That has really helped build program from, and I'm thinking back to the nice conversation we had with when you were kind enough to join us with us on the podcast about when you first got here and where things were versus now.
We've definitely grown over the years, and you know, when I first got here, there wasn't even a sports center. So, but I got here in 1976. 1976, 77 was my first year. So that's a few years ago, a couple years. And so, you know, so the school has grown. Like I said, the sports center wasn't there. And the guys like Rich Reagan, a former basketball player, Sean Iskin, a former wrestler. You know, I can go on and on and name a lot of names, but those are some of our, you know, big donors that that have really helped our. The new basketball court is beautiful. You know, the wooden to finally get a wooden court was just needed that so bad for years and years and years, and then to put the new pit colors up, you know, down. I mean, that just pops out at you right now when you walk into the sports center, you know. But you know, so definitely we have. You know, President, you know, Spector expanded the wrestling room, which really helped, you know, with wrestling, you know, having, you know, 40 guys on the team and things like that. You know, he expanded that, and that really helps. Like Pat was saying about the finally having an athletic weight room. You know, it's you know, for athletes, and you know, it's our own little thing. You know, there's the wellness center, but to have your own athletic weight room, and that came through, you know, the donations that Rich Reagan was able to generate. You know, to do things like that. So, and like I said, when I look upon things like facilities are just so important, and even what George was saying about recruiting, when you're recruiting and you're bringing, you know, seniors in high school on campus, and you know, and they could look at a nice wrestling room and a nice basketball court, and boy, if you had an overall turf field, and where you could say, hey, you know, we play baseball here, or we play women's soccer, men's soccer, softball, an all-purpose field, yes, something like that, huge. You know, and like George says, covers you know, 4 or 5 sports, you know, type of thing, and so I think that's something that we're all, you know, trying to get better in every sport. You know, we talked about the track and the need for you know, having the right facilities, you know, for a track team and things like that. So it's tough. You know, we have, you know, 15 sports that are going at it, and you know, overall about 280
yeah.
some athletes, you know, that are participating, you know. So that's you know, and that's also a lot of revenue for the school, you know, when you having, you know, it's a, you know, coming here and then obviously for scholarship money, and you know, most athletes aren't on full athletic scholarships, but they're on partial athletic scholarships. Some, you know, are lucky enough maybe to come close to a full scholarship, but you know, trying to spread the scholarship money around to as many athletes as you can, and you know, that's always something. And you know, even staffing is probably one of the toughest things to, you know, to increase. But you know, this year was Dr. Spector. First year we had full-time assistants. You know, I actually went my whole career, 40 some years, without having a full-time assistant. You know, so you would tell people that, they would think, you know, you're crazy. You know, but now we actually have full-time assistants in wrestling and men's basketball. You know, women's basketball. You know, we were able to get a full-time, another full-time assistant that covers, you know, track and women's soccer, and so you know, that goes a long way, because you know, nowadays it takes a staff, and you know, we're competing, you know, in the largest conference in Division II, the PSAC, the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference, and it's the largest in Division II, and one of the most competitive conference that there is. So, you know, it's tough. You got to compete, and so that's what you know. And the coaches, you know, they're out there. You know, they're you know, knocking on the doors and bringing people on campus, and you know, it's competition. There's a lot of competition out there for the, and even more now with most schools having, you know, enrollment issues. There are more and more schools, using athletics as a form of increased enrollment driven institutions that, especially small schools, they're using athletics as a way to increase their overall enrollment. But when you increase sports, then you also have to increase the three things I was talking about: scholarships, facilities, and staff. So you can't just add something and then not back it up. What I want is for every student athlete to have a positive experience. If they can come here and have a positive experience, that's the key. And you wouldn't, and seeing that, you talk about, like you're saying, academically, Abby could tell you a little bit about, just the, how many student athletes had a 4.0, how many student athletes are on the dean's list. What do you tell a little bit about the academic
side? Yeah, we had
side?
18 student athletes get a 4.0, so that was amazing. And it's incredible. Like, when you're coming to school here, you're getting a PIT degree, so it's not like they're, they have blow-off classes, so to speak. When we have a student transfer in from another school, I'm like, listen, like, you got to go to class, you got to study, and they all confirm that. They're like, this is definitely like the real deal, which is awesome. We're actually preparing, students for the real world, and our student athletes aren't like they're majoring in engineering and chemical engineering and nursing and like just all these great majors, and they're still competing in one of the most competitive conferences in Division II, with limited resources in terms of staffing and facilities. So scholarships are what help keep us in the game. So we're grateful for people like Craig Albert and Matt Mazonki, and excuse me for missing other names, but those really help to keep us in the game right now. But we really need facilities, and we really need staffing. And I mentioned not only investing in athletics doesn't help just our campus in terms of enrollment and just culture, but it also helps the Johnstown community. I think that's something that really important to point out. We have teams coming, staying in our hotels, eating in our restaurants. If we're able to host regionals like we have, our hotels are full, our restaurants are full. Some of our sports can't even host a regional because we don't have the facilities for it. So if we're able to do that, you've got restaurants thriving, you got hotels thriving, businesses thriving. That's a huge investment. And not just talking about, our teams competing. We're talking about summer camps that we can have, like AAU basketball and volleyball, travel volleyball. Like, that stuff is crazy big right now. And what that does for local economies is huge. So you're not just investing in Pitt Johnstown athletics, but you're investing in our campus, and you're investing in the Johnstown community.
Let's remind folks when they want to give. It's certainly Pitt Day giving. That's why we're all here today for several hours. You can see on the bottom of the screen the upj.pitt.edu/PDOG, PDOG will take you right there. You can click and you go right to the UPJ page. Let's take a quick look and see where we're at. Up to 74 of our goal of 188. Raised $13,456 so far from the 72 donors. So we have a ways to go, but considering that Pitt Day Giving is just kind of getting rolling, I think that's a great way to do it. Whether that's $5, $50, $5,000, $5 million, we will take your money, and we will be extremely, extremely grateful for you. So if you could hit that webpage at upj.pitt.edu, you have the big donate link right there. It'll take you to this directly to the UPJ Pitt Day Giving page, where you can find athletic scholarships, the athletic department as a whole, the basketball team, men's and women's, baseball, softball, all right there. You can direct, hey, I want to give my $5 to help support that cause, those students. I was a wrestler. I was on the basketball team. I was a fan of one of those things, which is more likely for everyone else on this side of the room.
Or I came to Winterfest and brought my kids there, and they had a blast. And we want to give back because, Pitt Johnstown gave to us. So that's something we're going to keep doing, those kind of events. So we'll take it.
Abby, your point about it being such a tool from an economic development standpoint is a very important and sometimes overlooked point, that even if you're just seeing this out there, think about it from that community's perspective, that you may say, I never went to UPJ. I never even got a chance to go up to campus for some reason. But I understand because people come into my shop or they come eat at my restaurant or I know they come and support my business or something like that. So think about that as you also dig down and dig deep.
Yeah, and I encourage you to reach out to me because we're constantly looking for those types of relationships to build and be able to, support your business and also, support us. It's a relationship. So we've got some other coaches walking in.
Well, why don't we kind of do a quick rotation here? We got about 10 minutes till the rotation out. Anything before you guys kind of rotate out before you want to recap the season? Excited to kick off the baseball season? I know basketball's kind of getting towards the end, and I think.
Yeah. We're just finishing up. We actually have our last game tomorrow, so we're hoping to finish strong. But you can't be more grateful for all the help we have received. I was one of the lucky ones to kind of move from that part-time to full-time position that Coach Pecora spoke about, and I can't thank Abby and Coach Pecora and Dr. Spector for that, and just everything all together. It just helps. It helps us promote this campus and this community, and I hope we can just continue to do that moving forward.
Great.
Yep. We are 2 weeks in, and we have 3 more non-conference weekends, and then we go into conference. So we're excited to get rolling. The weather's been pretty cooperative, so just appreciate everybody here, athletics, and anybody who can give. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, George is one of those spots where we'd like to get a full-time assistant coach. So just throwing that out there.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, gentlemen, both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Abby, who are we? Yeah.
All right, we got Coach Mike Drehas. He is our head women's basketball coach, and he also coaches golf. And then we also have Kayla McNamara. She is one of our newly added assistant coaches, which is women's soccer and also track and field. So she's, both of these people are busy year round. I mean, we all are grinding, but, coaching 2 sports, both of them coach 2 sports. It really shows their dedication to this campus.
What's that like teaching or coaching 2 sport teaching? I'm still in faculty mode from this morning. Coaching 2 sports and having to come to a day like this and advocate for both sports because all 4 of those are part of the funds you can actually find on our donation page, and we encourage you to go to that and support you. Yeah. So get up on the mic there and
I mean it's definitely it takes a little bit more effort, a little bit more time, and but again, it's nothing that we can't handle. Obviously, Kayla's been doing it for a year. I've been doing it for the past 10 years now. So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun getting to interact with a whole different group of kids, and obviously from my women's basketball team to the men's golf, there's a whole lot of differences between the two. But it's definitely a lot of fun, and nothing that I wouldn't want to do it more often.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat too. I'm obviously super happy to be here. Coaching women's soccer and then going right into track, it's definitely a bit of an adjustment. It's 2 very completely different sports. One is more team orientated and the other is a bit more individual, but it's been a really good experience so far, and obviously building relationships with all the coaches here, and obviously Coach Pecora and Abby. It's been awesome.
I think across the board what you see has always been impressive is just that cohesiveness and camaraderie that comes with UPJ athletics, and it has been that way for a long time. And I'm going to put that all on you, Coach, because I think that starts at the top.
Yeah.
And it's seen by everybody. And I cannot sing, and I would tell this to John or David sitting here without you all here. That like I said, some of the most attentive and interactive students I have in classes are your athletes, and I know them when I see them because when they I don't even know before they introduce themselves. I can tell because of how they're on it.
I think I've always, it's just the way I think I do it. Try to do everything is the way I grew up. The family, la familia. But anyway, you want to create, a family atmosphere, no matter what organization you're in, and I think for me that came easy. So, and I try to, be that way with all of our staff and coaches and staff and let them know that it's just, I don't want people to think that they're working for me. I want them to think we're working together. They're working with me you know, and Abby feels the same way, and I think it goes right across the board. And you know, we're all in the same building. You know, we you know, run across each other all day long. You know, and so we're close. We don't have to have you know, huge meetings all the time. We could just go right down the hall and things like that. So I think it's a good way. And being an athlete's always, you know, something special because, you know, they identify with the sport, and it makes them even a stronger alumni in a way because they have a, you know, an attachment, you know, that they were a Pitt Johnstown athlete of something, and I think that even, you know, brings a closer unity, you know, type of thing. And they know they're always welcome back to come back into the family and, you know, visit. And so, but yeah, I'm proud of that fact. And I think that Abby, you know, and the coaches agree that we try to, you know, have that type of atmosphere.
Yeah, I was going to say sometimes those alumni come back and work here, you know. So Coach Grubbs that was here earlier, and then myself, we were both former student athletes here, and that's what happens when you love it so much. You want to, you know, keep coming back and keep giving back, and a lot of sacrifice for sure. But that's what family's about, you know, working together and, you know, picking each other up. And I think Coach says it perfectly. Like that's what it feels like for me. It's family. Like all of my coaches, all the student athletes. I feel like the student athletes are my kids. I know they're adults, but I feel like I'm their mom, you know, and I want to be that way. And I think we do have that type of environment and that culture, and it does, you know, come from the top down. It's really important. That's what his wrestlers say. It's a brotherhood. That's why his alumni are so strong. Well, you know, we have a familyhood, you know, at Pitt Johnstown, and I really do. Like, I do anything for any of my coaches, and I absolutely love what we have going here.
You didn't mention you were being. Did you donate to Pitt Day Giving yet? If not, there's a gentleman here who will gladly take your $5.
He tried getting me on the way in already.
We got him.
I mean, one of the things I'll mention along those same lines, and something that recruits or especially parents point out to me is how long people stay here. That, you know, obviously Coach McCord starting at the top, has been here for 40 years, and I've been here for 11, over a decade, and I'm still one of the young ones in our department. So I think that speaks volumes that as far as the family atmosphere and what we do as a department, that the people stay around here. As I said, Coach Grubbs, you know, has been here. Was it 9 years now as an assistant, 10 years as an assistant, and was obviously a student here for 5 years. And Abby came back, and, you know, our baseball coach has been here for, you know, 20 years, and our SID has been here for 20 years. And I think that speaks volumes that we're doing something right. And again, I think we have people that are willing to put in the work and the sacrifice to continue to build, to make Pitt Johnstown athletics as good as they can be.
Great. We're getting right towards the end of the top of the hour here, but I wanted to give you both the chance to talk about your seasons, both concluding and coming up as well.
Yeah, we're for women's basketball. We're in the grind now. We're reaching towards the end here. We actually have our last regular season game coming up this Wednesday, tomorrow night. So we're excited for that, and hopefully make run the PSAC playoffs. And we're kind of on that verge, right on the outside of the regional rankings. You know, we're somewhere around like 14-ish, somewhere in there, and still fighting to get ahead. But, you know, our conference is really tough, and you know, obviously with the resources that a lot of the schools have and things, we're fighting a lot. But I'm really proud of our team and what we've been able to accomplish these last several years, and hoping, like I said, you know, we still have at least a couple more weeks ahead of us. On the golf side, we had a great fall, and really represented well. We're sitting sixth in the region right now, and we're getting ready to actually start our spring season here next week. Head a little bit south, but we actually have our Pitt Day of Giving stuff going on right now. If anyone wants to tune into we're trying to do a hole-in-one challenge over on Instagram Live right now.
Oh,
so
nice.
Guys can feel free to check that out. We've actually had a fair amount of activity on there, so kind of fun to watch the guys hit some shots.
We'll have to pull it up. We have it behind us and watch them.
We're hoping we get Coach Abby or Coach Pecora to come down and be a celebrity guest shot here. I took a couple. I took some beatings in the comments, but that's okay.
Well, David almost golfed one time, but he had broken ribs. I got hit by a golf ball once. John's the one who hit me. So this is not the group that's going to be able to win your tournament today.
That's funny.
How's your season?
Yeah, so Dre Haas said it best. I mean, PSAC is one of the biggest Division II conferences, so it's very tough. In terms of women's soccer, we're a fall sport, so we went from middle of August all the way till the first week of November. In terms of records, we had one of our best records the program's had. Our conference actually 2 years ago implemented a new rule where you can end at a tie now, which kind of helped us this year. We ended up in 4 ties. Obviously, you could, end up kind of going in overtime and potentially win, but sometimes those games you rather just take a tie the way they go. So that definitely helped us out. Actually, in the beginning of the fall, women's soccer opened up a fundraising for new locker rooms. So we raised a good amount, but we would like to open up a new one just to get a couple more. I'm hoping to kind of upgrade our locker room a little bit for them. So that would be very generous for everyone. And then our track team, we're in season right now. We just ended our indoor season, so we're beginning outdoor right now with the weather and stuff. Hopefully it holds up and we could start training outside. Our track is a little, it's not the best, but it's not the worst, so we do everything we possibly can for the athletes, and they have a very positive mindset, but we're hoping we can obviously in the next couple of years fix that up as well.
Great. Anyone who would like to give, again, at upj.pitt.edu/PDOG, PDOG will take you right at the top of the page is the big button. You click it, it'll take you to the UPJ part of the donation page, and you can find all of these sports, athletics in general, scholarships for athletes, anything that you would like to support, and click that button within 2 minutes. Done, said, but your dollars go exactly where you want them to go. Coach Pecora, Abby, all of you, thank you so much for coming and spending a half hour with us here on Pitt Day Giving 2024. It certainly is special, and it's something that I always like talking and seeing things.
Good. No, we had a good time.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
No, thank you. Good luck tomorrow. Is that a doubleheader here?
Yep.
5:30, 7:30.
5:30 and 7:30.
Come, cheer loud.
Check it out.
So good. We want to promote that as well. So again, thank you all so much for coming, and we're going to keep pulling in those donations.
Awesome.
Again,
Thank you.
if everyone else here hasn't donated, David will get your information on the way out.